Hi, everyone. I'm Ginny Robertson, founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community and founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine. I'm here this morning to bring you the speaker portion of our meeting of Connections Over Coffee. Ellen Koronet speaks on minding your mission to fly your flag. Learn 3 keys to crafting a mission that goes to work for you. Ellen Kay is a social scientist and creativity facilitator with decades of experience designing ways to bypass habitual thinking. Ellen's systems facilitate the collection of opinions that explain and predict behavior, all while having game-filled fun. Her proprietary tools lay out a compelling messaging map that provides the basis to design quiz magnets and assessments to voice the fascinating brilliance of each brand, landing on a captivating and effective invitation to warmed up prospects. You can find Ellen's website link in the text here. And Ellen, welcome.
Thank you.
And you are on when you are ready.
Trying to hang on a second. Let me move this over here. And ready, set. Here we go. And unfortunately, you'll see, there we go. And then we're going to present. Hi, I'm Ellen Koronet. I'm so excited we're here. Ginny, I can no longer see any of the faces and so on. Let me see if I can move that over to
You can't do that if you're sharing, I don't believe so.
Yeah, no, I got it. Okay, it's over on the other screen now. So just signal or speak up if I need to do anything different. So today at Connections Over Coffee with Ginny Robertson, we are minding your mission to fly your flag. And what I want you to think about as we go through this is not necessarily a physical flag, although you can create one. I'll show you how, but just the idea of minding. What I'm talking about is mining and mindfulness. And that's what we're going to be all about today. The aim really here is to give inspired thinking the reins. So I have developed a system where I take our habitual sort of protective kind of thinking, and I isolate it over here, and then we can pull out into the more inspired thinking. And I'll show you some tips and tricks today to get out of that sort of bubble that we tend to live in, because it keeps us feeling safe and comfortable, right? So what we're doing is really digging into this really exciting stuff that helps us, whether you are personally in the world or professionally in the world or running your own business or working for a large corporation, doesn't matter. All of these things work in the same direction and bring us all to a really great place. So the place to start with this is to start either, if you haven't already crafted, or if you already have one, you want to emphasize the mission or the vision or the key idea that really works for you. And to do that, we need to start with a really single-minded focus. And if you can put it into just a few words or a phrase or a sentence that has only positive ideas in it. And there's certainly a place for the things we want to get away from. But when we're working towards a mission, and you want to get it out there on the flag so that you can absolutely always move towards it, you need to separate out what we're running away from and pull into what we're running towards. So positively put, framed idea. Let me take that a step further. So that idea came into your awareness and it connects with your heart. You become the curator of your idea. Think of it as, as if you're the museum curator and everybody's going to come and visit your museum. You are the owner of this whole idea that you're presenting into the world. And it's really, without even getting woo-woo about it, there's really some sort of energy around that idea, right? So it's a vibrational signal that you're sending out. So if it connects for you, it will connect for others. You can be sure of that. And what you're looking for is that idea that you can't not do. It's because of something that you see in the world that isn't right, or something you see in the world that brings you joy. You can't not promote that idea. That's what we're after. And I'm really excited about that, because once you have that simply put idea, now you can start to zero in on what's behind it, what's under it, what's around it, what's through it. And to do that, we're going to either cultivate or come back to this as many times as you want to reinvigorate that idea. And what we're doing is we're zeroing in on all these desires, which are also reasons for this idea to come into the world through you, right? And here is where, when I work with my clients to create quizzes, surveys, creativity facilitation meetings, and so on, ideas, innovation, anything new that's coming into the world, I always take them through a process that goes beyond the first reason, the second reason, and the third reason. And we want to dig, and ask questions like, tell me more. And what would happen if I didn't do this? And who even cares anyway? Why can't we just keep going with the status quo? It's comfortable. I like it this way. I've been doing it for 50 years. Why should I change now? So when you answer all those kinds of questions, and you answer why this and why now, you're going to begin to find that you're moving away from the habitual reasons and into the inspired reasons, and new ideas will come seeping in, flying in, crawling in, creeping in whatever form they come in. Pay attention to those, because that's where we're going. And as you do this second step of zeroing down to why, not, what else, why not, you're going to find again that our human minds tend to think about what we don't want. So a lot of times when I'm doing these kinds of exercises with my clients, they start out saying, I'm just tired of people struggling. I don't want them to struggle anymore. I don't want people to feel isolated. I don't want people to feel like they're never going to make it, like they're not enough, blah, 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 blah. Those are really excellent ideas. You don't want to lose them. Put them over to the left. Those are the things you don't want. Those become pain points that you can help people move beyond. But you want to sort them out from the things that you do want. And the things that you do want are really going to start with you, that inner circle of what you do want. And so it's perfectly okay to be selfish at this stage. You're thinking about why you want to pursue your idea and what it's going to bring for you, and what the things under the things are that it's going to bring for you. A good example of that is when you say you want to be financially stable. Why do you want to be financially stable? And so on and so on and so on. And there you're going to get to the core of some ideas that resonate for you, and therefore will easily help you resonate for the people around you. So it'll expand out like a ripple effect. So start with yourself, and then think about your clients, and then think about the community around your clients, and then think about the world, and then think about the universe, and it just never ends. So here's an example of an exercise of drilling down to what I want. So if, for example, my business is all about automating engaging conversation through marketing research and quizzes, right? So I've kind of simply put my idea. This one's a little bit technical. I've done this a few times. So I'm zeroing in today for the purposes of a demonstration on one specific thing that I'd like to communicate out to the world on my flag, right? So reaching for what I do want, I want these quizzes to be automated. I want them to be interactive. I want them to be engaged. And as I continue to ask why, well, because when you engage, you've got a heart-to-heart conversation going on, and you can do this digitally. How exciting is that? And so as I continue to drill down, you'll notice I went from blue to green. And on the in the process that I do with my clients, I actually set this up ahead of time, and I never know when we're going to switch from blue to green, but somehow magically it almost always happens, like 95% of the time. When I'm asking the questions and my client is answering, they will switch from sort of factual things in blue to the much more interesting, compelling things in the green rows. And this is sort of a magical process, because as we dig, we're getting more and more to the heart of what we really want in the world. So the examples that turned to green for me were, well, that's more compelling. Well, what's so important about being compelling? Well, then it becomes fun as well. Or maybe fun should have moved up a little bit on my list. I don't know. But if I ask, why do I want people to have fun? Because more joy creates more impact. And this is what I found in my work over the many decades, right? And so on and so on and so on. You can go for as long as you feel you need to come up with some really great ideas that make you feel like, oh, there's a little more richness in this. And as you'll notice, I put in red off to the side the things that came up as I was going through this exercise. I don't want people to be boxed in. I don't want stereotype thinking. I don't want my clients or myself to have too much to do. I don't want anyone to overspend, overspend on creating quizzes and surveys and so on. I don't want people to be limited, and I don't want companies or people to be disconnected. So those become my pain points. And I can really build off of that and speak to my audience about, what we don't want, and then what we're reaching for and what we do want. So now you can take that exercise, you can take a screenshot of this or take a little piece of paper, jot down a few ideas that you have, and think about those as I move into the third step. And what we're doing is we're using a process in design thinking and creative problem solving and creativity, innovation exercises and systems, that's called divergent thinking. This is the divergent thinking phase of thinking away from habitual to inspired. So in the divergent process, you list out as many things as you can. Just go, 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 go. Everything counts. Nothing's wrong. Just throw them all out. Just spaghetti on the wall. Go, 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 go. And then in the convergent process, which we'll come to after this, we're going to start to sort through all these ideas. And we've already done a little bit of it by moving away the things we don't want from the things we do want. But now we're going to take it a step further. So, and you can all connect with me at any time. I will send you this sheet, or you have lots of opportunities to work. And I do suggest that you work with someone at some stage in this process, because sometimes when we say out loud to someone else, it'll trigger an idea in them. So this is a collaborative process as well. So now on to the third step. We're going to sort, we're going to play, my favorite part, and we're going to test. And what I mean by that is you're sorting those ideas into the facts, what you offer, which is the features, which is the what, and you'll notice the pain points are still there, but they're off to the side. We're going to sort it into the what, the so what, which is what's in it for others. What are the benefits? And you'll notice some of those things in your list are sort of factual, and some of those things in your list are more what is in it for somebody else. And then the third piece is always hard for us to really differentiate between the so what and the what's next, or the benefits and the outcomes, or the what's in it for others and the big ripple effects. And sometimes I have to spend a lot of time sort of teasing that out. I think it's a worthwhile process because we often forget to talk about those outcomes. We get so caught up in the what's in it for somebody else that we want to just push that out and say, here, don't you see? This, here's your problem. Here's my solution. Here's what's in it for you. Let's go. But I think we all need to at least have an implied understanding of what's next, of what's going to be the big outcome from that. So I encourage you to take it to that next step. So here's an example, and I'm putting this one up because this is a platform that I am a certified content creator for. I do all my client quizzes on here these days. I do all my own quizzes on here these days, surveys, forms. And I just wanted to give you just a quick, brief idea of the features versus the benefits versus the outcomes when you just take even a simple thing like the platform that I use for my quizzes. and I've done a lot of research, and I've used this for several, many years. So I really live by these benefits and outcomes. So the features would be things like that it gives me scoring flexibility. It's graphically really easy to use. It has lots of question formats. It's always adding excellent features, and so on. The benefits of those things are that it allows you and me to be hand in glove with our forms and our brand and our branding and our website and our everything we do, our whole presence. It allows us to be more interactive and fun. It allows us to stylize the personalized results rather than just, I answered 10 A's and 3 B's and 5 C's. No, that's not how we are. That's not how we are as human personalities. So this platform allows me to create much more intricate a vision of who people are, so they feel seen and heard. And that's what brings us into the outcomes. So it gives my clients and me time for what matters. It makes us more prosperous. It allows us to have fun when we're doing something kind of mundane. It allows us to focus on what works, and it allows more people to benefit. So there you can see an example of how I teased out the outcomes from the benefits. So here is an example of how you could take that list and sort it. And when I do this, this is a strategic bubble map, sort of every single one is unique. I never come up with the same one when I do this process with my clients. But sometimes it starts when you take the pain points and you begin to go across the page when you're sorting through all those reasons that you came up with. You can actually go from a specific pain point through a specific process into a specific benefit and even a specific outcome. What tends to happen more often is maybe the pain points and the process might line up, but then we get into all kinds of benefits, and there's sometimes a key idea in the middle, and sometimes we can even sort them into different layered, different colors of different kinds of benefits, or maybe there's different processes that create different benefits and so on. But this is just one example of how you can play, sort, and then you'll want to test. I mentioned testing. By testing, I mean take this back to your audience and see if they can add something to it, or do this in the collaborative process with the person or the group that you're working with, and begin to, sort of feed back and forth between what you begin to see on the page and where you're headed. So here's an example of, with my own drill down that I showed you before. I came up with, these are not necessarily pain points, but over here are what I want, sort of the basics of what I want. I want visibility. I want to be known. And this goes, as I said before, both for me and for my audience, my clients. I want their brand to be visible. I want them to be known for what they do and who they are in the world. I want this whole thing to be automated, easy, simple, just people pressing buttons, and then we're connected and we've exchanged some really meaningful information. I want it to be enticing, and I want it to be engaging. So the way I get all those things is I take people through a quiz process that is either do it yourself, done with you, done for you. And the acronym FUN changes every single time I do this. So right now it's for unfettered newness. I don't know. But whatever it is, I want the quizzes to be really accessible and easy and at any level of entry that people want. And then I take them through social scientific design. I make the forms look awesome and easy peasy. I'm differentiated and they're differentiated. It's insightful and so on. So you can see we went from sort of the things that we want to the way we're going to get those things to the bigger outcomes over on the right, which is deep connection, thriving clients, and thriving LNK. Awesome products and services are changing lives. That's why I get so excited about what I do. Commerce becomes heart-centered. Woohoo! That's my real mission. That's it right there. And more inclusive and connected world. So you can see it gets big. bigger and bigger. And as you're playing with this, you may come up with a completely different configuration. This was just the one that I gave for the example of dancing with ideas, creating a 21st century wholesome pathway to unique imprint. That's what I'm about. So there's the example. And then I can take that even a step further. And I use Canva to create this kind of an image. This is not a ready for the world graphic design, but it is a fun way of taking those ideas and then laying them out and finding by just putting into Canva. I have a basic package where I can get a wider range of images. I can get graphics and photos and GIFs and all kinds of things. So I type in the word compelling and it came up with a watermelon. Guess what? That was my nickname growing up. So I love that image. I put that one on my little flag, right? I looked for awesome and I found this nice way of saying awesome products and services changing lives. Warm lead generation. I found a nice little image for that. And so by just sort of crafting this, those words that I came up with, those reasons that I came up with, I sorted it down to the ones that were most important to me. And now I have something I can put up in front of me that is very exciting. And I see that I am running out of time. So this is the process that I take my clients through, the divergent and the convergent thinking. And that's a time limited, whether you're watching this on video or right now, come to another workshop at 1 o'clock on November 15th. And we will create gamified opt-ins to warm up your lead generation. So I'm going to take you through a little bit more of the specifics of how to create quizzes. And by watching this video or being in the room today, you get 10% off on anything. So normally that visual strategic bubble mapping is $245. Today it's $221. And or just chat with me and we will figure out what else you want to do. So thank you for attending or viewing this workshop. And please take a few minutes to complete my quizzy survey at feedback. Well, anyway, I'll put the link. I'll put the link elsewhere, and I've already put it in the chat for this group. So thank you so much. That is my presentation for today. Get out there and fly your flags, folks.
Thank you, Ellen. That was absolutely amazing as
Dad,
usual.
I need to
Yes.
wrap this up for the video, okay? Ellen, can you just stop sharing your screen?
Yes.
Okay, I do want to thank everyone who's watching this. Well, not watching it live because we couldn't do a live today, but watching this replay either here or on our YouTube channel. If you'd like to join us for one of our 11 Zoom gatherings a month, or an in-person in Charlottesville, Virginia, or our new meeting starting in Tallahassee, Florida in January, comment below, and I'll tell you how you can do that. You can also go to the website, opwgc.com, and find out all about our community. Thanks for watching, everyone.